The amendment provides for a new insertion in the bill in relation to the disabled drivers and passengers scheme. Deputies will be aware that the medical assessments conducted by the HSE in respect of access to the scheme have been on hold since the Supreme Court decision of earlier this year. The Court found that the regulations setting out the medical criteria underpinning qualifications for the scheme were inconsistent with the mandate provided in Section 92 of the Finance Act of 1989. This amendment brings the medical criteria into the primary legislation. The measure is designed to address the immediate issue raised by the Supreme Court and allows for assessments to recommence without further delay in circumstances where the legal basis for such assessments is clarified. I consider this to be an interim solution only. While I am very aware of the importance of this scheme to those who benefit from it, I am also aware of the issues expressed by members of the House and others in respect of difficulties around access to the scheme. With this in mind, I've asked my officials to undertake a comprehensive review of the scheme, to include a broader review of mobility supports for persons with disabilities, and on foot of that review, to bring forward proposals for consideration. I just want to again remind the committee that earlier on in the proceedings I indicated that assessments in relation to the certificate were recommencing on the back of the communication I issued to the HSE, and just to confirm again that the commencement of assessments will only begin upon the implementation of this bill.
Welcome the Minister's move in relation to this. I also welcome the Minister's clarification, because his comments to me yesterday were that this scheme was opened up again, which is not the case. And I brought this to the Minister's attention literally just before we came into the meeting here. And the position is now that there will be no processing of primary medical certs until the beginning of next year, when this legislation is enacted. But the difficulty that I raised yesterday with the Minister was that there are 1,500 people who should have a primary medical cert now, who, because of the suspension of this scheme and because of COVID-19, will not have it at the end of this year. And the indication that I'm getting from the HSE is that they won't start to deal with that particular backlog until the new year, and that will be in the context of the COVID-19 situation, but also the vaccination programme and developments in relation to that. So because of the suspension of this scheme now, the reality is that people, the 1,500 people who should have got their primary medical cert this year, won't get it until sometime next year. And those people who apply next year will have to wait a considerable period of time before they get access to it. So what I'm asking, Minister, is in line with your comment to me yesterday, that if there was a problem with this, that you would look at it. I'm asking you to give a commitment to the committee here that you will look at providing some type of additional resource to ensure that this particular backlog is addressed in a very timely manner.
And that is why the suspension of the scheme in the aftermath of the Supreme Court ruling is a serious issue. And while there is now a number of people who are waiting to get onto the scheme, I will work with the HSE and will raise this matter with Minister O'Gorman, actually, to see what we can do to process the outstanding applications as soon as possible. Deputy Naughten, as I said, I've already confirmed that this scheme will recommence the processing of applications on the 1st of January 2021.